What's going on, guys? Hold the door DFS here for a Counter-Strike Go edition of our breakdown. And I'm actually going to break down the two-game slate that starts here a little past midnight. I'm really excited about the pricing, and I think the pricing to odds is really nice for cash. So I do know there's a 5-game slate going on in the morning. You can check out my core plays in our free Discord channel for that slate and the showdown slate tomorrow. But let's hop into, and that is completely free, by the way. So just get over to our fsidfs.com, go to the cart, go to esports. That's a free membership. So let's get into this two-game slate with the Oceania and the Asian leagues here. Sometimes are my favorite slates because they just present a lot of nice value. And I don't know, I'm really excited about it because I think the builds come together really nicely. In the first matchup in the Oceania matchup here, thank you, GG.bet. We have Renegades being almost a minus 700 favorite against Avant. And then Tyloo is a minus 175 favorite against VC Gaming. Now, VC just did recently beat Tyloo, but I think if you look more long-term, you would lean Tyloo. Now, that doesn't mean in that game you have to go 3 Tyloo for sure. You could one-off with a VC or even leverage some ownership and play 3 VC. But the prices on Tyloo, as I'll show you next, are really nice. So it makes the things with Renegades much easier to work with. So let's get over to the build. Let's look at Renegade first. We have this is their squad here: INS, Dexter, Sicko, Malt, or Hats, and Malta. So what I like to do, if you watched any content that I used to have out before, now it's just been so busy, but I like to go to hltv.org. I like to go to their stats. I like to replace with the lineup context. So the data that I'm looking at here is the data that when these guys have played together, that is the data that we get out. So as you can see here, they're a really good team. So nobody's even in the negative kill to death differential here, but you do see a clear top 3. So Dexter, INS, and Sicko. I think you can make a case for Dexter and INS being pretty much head to head here, pretty close. Sicko, even, his kill to death ratio is still really good, just doesn't, is not as active maybe as those two. And then the ratings are just clearly higher. So if we go back and look at the pricing, they're kind of priced in that order. Maybe Dexter could be in front of INS, but so if we went and used someone like Dexter, if we used all 3, it leaves us with $6,700 left per player. Now, you certainly could use like Sicko at captain. That saves you like $300, but not going to really get you that much. But then when we get to the Tyloo guys, you'll notice that we have somebody, slowly, attacker, summer, all $7,200 and lower. So you can easily 3-3 stack this. I will always say Sterling is like that one viable one-off. He is like kind of like, he's not on the Zywoo simple tier, but in this league, he is elite on not as good of a team. So like one-offing with him, sure, but I think Renegades run over Avant here. But like Amen is cheap. Jam Young at 6,800, I think is a great one-off too. So I think there's definitely some options. So let's look at, I would for sure get those 3 guys in for Renegades. Now, you can make the case when somebody's that big of a favorite, like if you go down to Malta at 7,400, or even going all the way down to, who is their cheapest player? Excuse me here, Renegades. Oh, Malta. Oh, Malta is their cheapest. You have Hats too. You can definitely make a case for playing these guys, and Hats has been really good too, because you're expecting a 2-0 sweep, so they definitely can get there. So maybe prioritize at least 2 of the 3 top ones, and then you could one off with Hats or Malta if you need a little bit of salary. But let's look at Tyloo, and this is again with these guys playing together. What's kind of interesting about them is Danking is just like that slight step ahead of the rest, but then the rest of them are really grouped tightly together. Attacker, slowly, somebody in summer, and then we kind of look at the pricing. Somebody is the cheapest at 6,400. It goes somebody slowly, attacker, you know, somebody slowly, attacker. So, I mean, I think you're definitely getting some value with all of these guys here. Now, again, you know, if I just revert back to the lineup that we were kind of making, and let's even go Sicko as your captain, so you have a little bit more salary to work with. You can certainly make it work with something like this, and now you have an option of who you want to choose as your last Tyloo player in if you're going a 3-3 stack with Summer or Attacker. And you could even go potentially, let's see if you can still get Attacker. You can't, but if you use Summer, then you could one off with Jam Young or go down to slowly. So there's a lot of really nice ways to build this slate. In cash, I think 3-3 is always optimal because I don't know that you want to run it back against and have negative correlation against your plays. But I also do understand a one-off in a situation where somebody like Jam Young as an individual player is pretty elite, to say the least. That I think he could do it. So these are his last two games against Tyloo. He's at 85 and had 73. So you can definitely make a case for that. And has actually played worse against some of the not so good teams. So consider Jam Young as a one-off, but otherwise I would look to get in 3 Tyloo and 3 Renegades, and hopefully that helps you build for tonight. Go to sleep, put in your lineup, wake up, win some money. All right.